Before we start off the video, I just want to remind you guys, if you want a chance to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship commemorative belt, be sure to go down to the WrestleMania 38 giveaway announcement video and comment WrestleMania 38, and make sure you subscribe, and you will automatically be entered to win this for completely free. Anyways, on to the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Marty's Toybox. For today's video is figures that never made it to shelves, Part 2. Now, right here you see Elite 91 RVD, and you're like, this was released. This was the Chase version. I'm 90% sure this was the Chase version. And all was well. Everyone, or the wrestling figure collectors, were excited to get this attire. But the logo on it offended a good amount of people, in which WWE Mattel had to not release this attire form of RVD. It sucks, but it is what it is. You can't really complain. The logo right here, it's just, yeah. And then it came with a steel chair and everything like that. But there is the orange attire that is released. This one is just not being released to anyone, I don't think. I'm pretty sure they stopped it out of production, or it was too far into production, but they just didn't release any. Maybe like Matt Cardona has one, and that's about it. But Elite 91 RVD is first up on our list. And next up, Juan Guerrera from Jack's Ruthless Aggression. Now, I'm not too sure the backstory behind this one, of why it never made it to shelves. It was going to go on rings like collectibles. He had the juice or something. Juan Guerrera. He wrestled in AEW against Chris Jericho, so there's a possibility we could get a masked figure of him. But this one, sadly, was never released and never made it to shelves. And then next up, we have the NXT TakeOver Hadeo Atami. And I'm 90% sure this was not released because he got released or injured or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's just what happened. He got released and they're like, or they were told they can't release the figure. This would have been a great figure to have. I mean, the NXT TakeOver Boxing, I have a Shinsuke Nakamura NXT box in my collection, I'm pretty sure. Then, of course, you have his white and black jacket. The head scan was absolutely nailed on this as well. But sadly, once again, it never made it to our shelves. And it even included entrance gear and everything like that. And then next up, we have Carl Anderson. And I'm not exactly sure why this one wasn't released. I know this guy on Twitter or Instagram. I'll put his Instagram link in the link below. GCW Gennady. He got it, but no one else was able to get it. And this was such a good Carl Anderson. I mean, you've got the Anderson on his jacket, the head scans absolutely nailed, the attire overall, the Japanese symbols on it. Just everything about this figure was top notch. And sadly, once again, it never made it to our shelves. And I don't know why. A lot of things happen with figures that are released or they just can't release it due to the public's opinion of it. I know one of the rarest ones ever was Elite Series 1 or 2, Jeff Hardy. He got released from WWE, so they weren't allowed to release the figure. But about 4 people, I'm pretty sure, have their hands on that figure and have it in their collection. And that is one of the priciest figures to ever go right now, as just the supply and demand aspect of it is just insane. And also, it was their first, second ever Elite Series produced. So it's just crazy how figures work. They could be in production, they could be shown off to us, and then a snap of a finger, they're taken away. Or they just never made it to shelves. And then next up right here, we have a NXT TakeOver Roderick Strong. And I don't know, once again, why this one wasn't released. We definitely have had better Roderick Strongs now. But, like, for this being in its time, I think this was 2016, 2017. No, I think I'm way off. Maybe 2018, actually. I don't know. The head scan on this it's not the greatest. Don't get me wrong. It's not the greatest head scan. But this would have been his first ever figure produced, and it got taken away. And that's just the fact of it. And he has these strong tights and everything. But luckily, Strong is still in NXT. And we have figures of him that are much better than this one. And then next up, one that really hurt me. Legend Series 7 Sting. This one had Razor Ramon in the set. And Ultimate Warrior, I'm pretty sure. And I forget the other two. But this Sting. It's a WCW, I want to say, Sting. You have the baseball bat. You have the face paint on it with the black line through it. And then you have the jacket and everything like that. And I'm pretty sure this one wasn't released because he went to AEW. And that's just a no-no. But it's funny because Elite 92... that is being released, or Elite 93, we're getting Adam Cole, and we have the Burnt Fiend. The Burnt Fiend hasn't shown up anywhere, but I'm surprised at how they pick them. Some figures, they'll say, screw it, it's too far into production, we're going to release it. But the other ones, even if they're all boxed up and ready to ship out, and something happens, they'll just say no and stop it. And it's just weird how they pick and choose which ones happens and which ones don't. And Legend Series 7 Sting really hurt because I was really hoping to see this one. And then next up is a 2-pack, the Jax Adrenaline 38, Christian and Jax Swagger. And this one wasn't released just because they got criticism, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you got Jax Swagger here. He hasn't had that many figures produced. I mean, you got Jake Hager in AEW, but that figure right now is horrendous. It's peg warming out by Target. 8 figures, no chases. What's up with that? And then you have Christian as well right here. It's got the decos on it, or decals, whatever you want to say. And this one was not released to our shelves. And then next up is a really weird one. You have a retro Enzo Amore that was never released. I'm not really a retro collector, but I know there's some diehard retro collectors out there. And Enzo Amore was going to have one, but he got released. So, you know what that means. The figure did not get released. And they even had like the Certified G stand for it to go on and everything. And this one, it just looks really cool overall. And this one right here, some of you may be saying, oh, it's the same thing as the 2-pack. No, it's actually not. This is the Build and Brawl Christian that was never released because I think he got released at that time and they stopped it out of production. But this one, I Build and Brawl, I never really collected Build and Brawls, but you know, it is what it is. So figures that never made it to shelves. There's so many. I can do 100 parts of this, and we won't even get. Well, we might get to half of them, and that's about it. These are just ones that I came across that I'm like, oh, we can do that. Be sure to check out the first episode as well. It may sound completely differently. I made that video like a year and a half ago. I figured it was time for a part 2. And overall, I mean, the one that hurt me the most out of this list is Legend Series 7 Sting. I really wanted this, and just we never got it. And I hope Sting goes back to WWE just so they can re-release this figure in a later Legends line or something like that. Like Jake the Snake still having Legends figures go off the shelf, and he's in AEW. It just makes no sense to me because he's the manager and Sting's fighting. I'm not too sure. But let me know, which ones do you think should have made the list for figures that never made it to our shelves? And anyways, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.